Welcome to the Key Exchange by Catch the Key Inc., powered by Remax West Realty Inc. In this deep dive, we're featuring a beautiful home in Oakville, listed by Catch the Key Inc., and we'll walk through what makes this property special, the robust lifestyle it offers, and why the data suggests it could be the perfect long-term fit for you.
Yeah, we're focusing today on 2120 Fiddlers Way. That's in the West Oak Trails neighborhood of Oakville, postal code L6M0M5. Our goal here is really to look, beyond just the listing details and understand the whole community context, what makes this area tick.
Okay, good plan. Let's get the basic facts out first. We're looking at a freehold townhouse, sometimes called a row house, built in 2011. It's got 3 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms upstairs, and a handy half bath on the main level, I believe, spread over 2 stories.
That's right, 2 full stories.
And maybe most importantly for anyone who knows the GTA, it comes with an attached garage space. That's a big deal. A modern layout, really.
Definitely. And you mentioned freehold right off the bat. That's a really important distinction, isn't it? Especially when people looking at different ownership types.
It is. So what does freehold actually mean here for someone maybe comparing it to a condo townhouse?
Well, simply put, it means you own the house and the land it sits on. There are no monthly condo maintenance fees covering the building structure or, shared grounds like you'd have in a condo corporation. It puts 2120 Fiddlers Way in a totally different category financially and for long-term control.
Right. That makes a huge difference for budgeting down the line. Okay, speaking of land, the lot size is around 3,782 square feet. It's listed as irregular. And the zoning detail, I saw it's RM1. What does that tell us? Does that matter much for a potential buyer?
Oh, it definitely matters for context. RM1 zoning basically signals a low-density residential area. So it typically allows for row housing, like this townhome, maybe some semis, alongside single-family detached homes. What it does is sort of lock in the character of the neighborhood. It helps prevent things like, big apartment buildings or major commercial development popping up next door. It protects that quiet family feel West Oak Trails is known for.
Ah, okay. So it provides some stability for the future. That's good context. Now, the realtors representing this property, Sushil and Himani from Catch the Key, they often point out how a 2011 build like this kind of blends modern features with the feel of an established neighborhood.
Yeah, you get the benefits of newer construction, better insulation, modern layouts, but in a community that's already matured nicely. We can actually see some of that maturity reflected in the financial data, can't we?
We can. Let's look at the assessment side. The assessed value from, this is Jan 1, 2016, was $666,000. That gives us a sort of benchmark.
It's a starting point, yeah. But maybe more telling about the area's stability and ongoing investment is the property tax history.
Right, I noticed that. It's a steady climb upwards. Like, estimated taxes were around $4,253 back in 2016, and they're projected to be about $5,559 by 2025. For someone thinking of buying here, maybe moving into Oakville, how should they read that? Is that just a cost, or is there an upside?
It's both. Obviously, it's a cost, but in a desirable area like this, it's mostly a positive signal. That consistent, gradual increase usually reflects ongoing municipal spending on the things people value: good schools, parks, infrastructure improvements. Shows the town is investing, and it reflects confidence in the area maintaining its value. It's kind of the price of admission for those high-quality services.
That makes sense. And if we glance at the sales history available in the sources, well, it shows some significant appreciation early on.
Exactly. We see a transfer listed back in 2011 for $320,000. That was likely the initial purchase from the builder.
Then another transaction recorded in 2016 at $720,000.
Wow. Yeah, that jump in just 5 years really shows how quickly the market recognized the value proposition of West Oak Trails right after these homes were built. It suggests that getting in early paid off significantly, and that stability we see in the tax trends indicates that underlying value is still very much there.
Okay, so the numbers paint a picture of stability and desirability. Let's shift gears now and talk about the why behind those numbers. What's the vibe of West Oak Trails? What's it like living there?
I think the key word that comes up again and again in the community profile data is family. It's widely known as a really well-planned, very family-friendly area. Lots of green space, these amazing trails woven throughout. The way it's laid out minimizes through traffic in residential areas, which really promotes that quiet, close-knit community feel and encourages people to be outdoors. Active living is big here.
And the demographics really back that up, don't they? Our sources point out that 71% of households in West Oak Trails are families with children. That's huge.
It is. And digging a bit deeper, about a third of all households are specifically 4-person households. So you're not seeing a lot of, say, student rentals or single professionals. It's very much geared towards family life.
It also seems like an established family demographic, right? Not just young families starting out.
Exactly. When you look at who the primary household maintainer is, the main decision maker, they're mostly in the 35 to 44 age bracket, that's 30%, and even more in the 45 to 54 bracket at 36%. These are generally people in their peak earning years, likely with school-age kids. They seem to be putting down roots for the long haul.
And what's interesting is that this kind of stable, family-oriented base exists alongside incredible diversity. Oakville overall is diverse, but West Oak Trails really stands out. Residents from 150 different ethnic backgrounds.
It's quite amazing, yeah. It creates this really vibrant multicultural community fabric. And the data on immigration is revealing, too. About 43% of residents are first-generation immigrants.
Wow, nearly half.
And another 30% are second-generation. That suggests it's seen as a very welcoming place, a place where newcomers feel they can integrate successfully and access opportunity, particularly that quality of life we mentioned.
And that quality of life definitely extends to non-human family members, too. I can just picture Max, the key chief entertainment officer, that golden retriever. He'd beeline straight for the parks here.
Oh, Max would be spoiled for choice. Seriously, the recreational facilities are top tier. The data shows 25 parks within West Oak Trails alone, containing about 70 different facilities.
70 facilities in 25 parks.
Yeah, and that breaks down into things like 17 dedicated playgrounds for kids. And critically, for dog walkers or anyone who loves the outdoors, there are 20 distinct maintained trails winding through the neighborhood. Not just paths, but actual dedicated trails.
20 trails. That really tells you something about the lifestyle priority here, doesn't it? Access to nature, getting outside.
It absolutely does. And it ties back to what we were saying about municipal investment. This isn't accidental green space. It's planned, curated recreation that residents clearly value.
Okay, let's pivot to probably the #1 draw for many families, considering Oakville and West Oak Trails specifically, the schools. The reputation is, well, stellar.
It really is a major driver of demand. You've got 7 public schools serving the area. That includes highly regarded names like Garth Webb Secondary and Emily Carr Public. Plus, there are 8 Catholic schools, including staples like Holy Trinity Catholic Secondary and St. Ignatius of Loyola. So lots of choice within both systems.
And it's not just the number of schools, but the quality and the programs offered, right? Things like French immersion, advanced placement, AP, even the International Baccalaureate IB program are available.
Exactly. That signals a real commitment to academic excellence. And you see that reflected in the residents themselves. The data is pretty striking. 57% of adults in West Oak Trails hold a bachelor's degree or higher.
Over half the adults have a university degree. That's significant. It points to a community that deeply values education and opportunity.
It absolutely does. And that focus on education and opportunity tends to correlate pretty strongly with economic success.
So what does the financial picture look like for the typical household here? Is it as strong as the education levels suggest?
It is very strong. The income distribution leans heavily towards the upper end. We see 17% of households reporting incomes between $150,000 and $199,999 a year.
Okay, that's already high.
And then another 23%, nearly a quarter of all households are earning $200,000 or more. So combined, that's 40% of households bringing in over $150K annually.
Wow. Okay. So we're talking about highly skilled, well-compensated professionals, generally speaking. What industries are they working in?
The top sectors confirm that. Professional, scientific, and technical services lead the pack, employing about 13% of residents. Then you've got finance and insurance right behind at 11%. It's very much a white-collar, knowledge-based economy represented here, not so much manufacturing or trades.
Which leads us naturally to the elephant in the room for many desirable GTA suburbs, the commute. If you have these high-powered jobs, where are people working?
That's the key question. The data shows that a significant majority, 65% of working residents, actually commute outside of Oakville for work. They live in Oakville for the quality of life, but their jobs are often in Toronto, Mississauga, or elsewhere in the region.
65% commuting out. Okay, so connectivity becomes absolutely crucial. How is 2120 Fiddlers Way positioned for that?
It's actually very well positioned. It offers really convenient access to both the 407 ETR and the 403 highway. That's a major advantage for commuters.
But there's always a but, isn't there? With 65% commuting out, and the data also showing that 79% of residents use a private vehicle to get to work, that sounds like a lot of cars.
It is. That's the trade-off, the friction point you have to consider. While the highway access is great, that heavy reliance on cars means the area is definitely impacted by broader GTA traffic congestion. The daily commute can be, well, let's be honest, pretty stressful for many.
Right. This is probably where someone like Hamani, thinking about her client's day-to-day reality, would really emphasize the strategic value of this location. Being close to those highway on-ramps isn't just nice, it's almost essential to manage that commute time.
Exactly. You're accepting the reality of the commute, which many people do for the lifestyle benefits, but you're choosing a location that helps minimize the daily grind as much as possible. For two-thirds of the working population here, that highway proximity is likely a non-negotiable feature.
Okay, let's try and pull all these threads together. We've looked at the house itself, a 2011 freehold townhome, and we've analyzed the neighborhood context. One thing that stands out is the housing mix.
Yeah, that's important. While this is a townhome, the neighborhood is actually dominated by single detached houses. They make up about 65% of the housing stock.
So the townhomes, which account for roughly 28%, are a smaller slice of the pie. What does that mean for buyers?
It generally means they represent a more accessible entry point into a very high-demand, high-value community. You get access to all those benefits we've discussed. The top schools, the amazing parks and trails, the strong community feel potentially at a more manageable price point compared to the larger detached homes surrounding them.
So it's kind of the smart way to buy into the West Oak Trails lifestyle, perhaps, without needing the budget for a big detached property in Oakville, which can be quite substantial.
It can certainly be seen that way, yeah. It offers that balance.
And navigating a market like this, getting that balance right, that's where having experienced guidance really matters, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's where you see the value of working with realtors like Sushil and Hamani. Sushil brings that deep analytical dive into market data, trends across the GTA and the Golden Horseshoe. He understands the numbers. And Hamani really focuses on the human side, understanding what a family needs in a home and community, thinking about those long-term lifestyle goals. You need both perspectives.
That combination seems crucial. Okay, so we've painted a picture. High incomes, great education, beautiful green spaces, strong family focus, diversity. But we keep coming back to that commute.
And here's perhaps the most telling statistic of all related to that commute. The data reveals that 21% more than 1 in 5 working residents have a commute time of 60 minutes or more each way.
1 hour or longer each way.
Think about that commitment. 2 hours or more spent commuting every single workday.
That really crystallizes the final question for anyone considering this area, doesn't it, for you, the listener? What does that intense commute pattern tell us about the perceived value here? What are people gaining in West Oak Trails that they consider absolutely non-negotiable, something worth spending potentially 2 hours a day in traffic for? How does that dedication factor into the long-term desirability and value of a home like 2120 Fiddlers Way?
It suggests the value proposition goes way beyond just the house itself, doesn't it? It implies that the quality of the schools, the safety, the community atmosphere, those trails and parks, the overall environment for raising a family. All of that is deemed so important, so valuable, that the significant time cost of the commute is seen as a worthwhile trade-off. It's essentially a massive vote of confidence in the enduring quality and lifestyle offered by this specific neighborhood. It's an investment in something much bigger than just square footage.
That willingness to commit, shown by that commute data, might be the strongest signal of all about the sustained value you find in West Oak Trails.
I think you're right. It speaks volumes.
If you have any real estate questions, want to book a showing for this property or any other, or just need some trusted advice, please call Sushil at 647-300-6712 or Hamani at 647-821-6712. You can also email us at admin@catchthekey.ca or check out the website at www.catchthekey.ca. And hey, if you'd like to be part of the Key Exchange, maybe you're a client with a story to tell, a local business owner in a great community, or just someone with a unique real estate perspective, please reach out. We'd love to have you on the show.